9.7. Products and quotients of complex numbers. In polar form. Okay, take out your formula sheets. Okay, we only have 3 formulas left to learn, and they're down at the bottom. On the bottom, you've got 3 of them. You've got the product of complex numbers in polar form and the quotient of complex number in polar form. De Moivre's theorem we're going to learn tomorrow. So we're just looking at the product of complex numbers and the quotient of complex numbers. And I'm just going to write the formula out so you can follow along. You can write this down if you want to, or you could just follow along on your formula sheet. The formula for product. If you're multiplying 2 complex numbers, it's the radius 1 times the cosine of theta 1 plus I sine of theta 1 times the radius of the second one times the cosine of theta 2 plus I sine of theta 2. This equals, you will be given this. All you have to do is multiply the R1 and the R2 together for your final part. And all you have to do is add the angles together. So it's the cosine of theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I sine of theta 1 plus theta 2. So they're going to give you the first part, and you're going to multiply the 2 r's together, and you're going to add the angles together. Okay, the second formula is the quotient formula. Again, it's on your formula sheet. And the formula says, if you have R1 cosine of theta 1 plus I sine of theta 1, and you divide it R2 cosine of theta 2 plus I sine of theta 2. If you are dividing 2 complex numbers in polar form, all you do for your answer is you divide R1 by R2, and your angles, you're going to do the cosine, and you're going to subtract the 2. Theta 1 minus theta 2 plus I sine of theta 1 minus theta 2. Okay, I'm just going to give you 2 examples, and I think you will get it after 2 examples. Problem number 1. 7 cosine of 35 degrees plus I sine of 35 degrees times 3 cosine of 15 degrees plus I sine of 15 degrees. Okay, this is a product problem. All you're going to do is multiply your 2 r's. Your first r is 7. Your second r is 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. The angles are cosine plus I sine. All you're going to do to figure out what your final angle is going to be is by adding these 2 angles. 35 degrees plus 15 degrees equals 50 degrees. Okay, the last step that they want you to do is to actually put it into complex form. This is in polar form. They want you to just put this quickly into complex form. So you're just going to do the distributive property. You're going to take 21 cosine of 50 plus 21 I sine of 50. You don't have to show this part. You can just do 21 cosine of 50 on your calculator and write it down. And then you can do 21 I sine of 50 and write it down. So on your calculator, everybody do 21 cosine of 50. And hopefully when you do that, you get 13.5. I'll wait for everybody to do that to see if they get the right answer. See if you get 13.5. Now, you should do 21 sine of 50 on your calculator and see what you get. You should have gotten 16.1. You need the I at the end so that it's a complex number. So the final answer for number 1 is 13.5 plus 16.1i. Okay, we're going to do a second problem. The second problem will deal with the quotient formula. 10 parentheses cosine of 27 degrees plus I sine of 27 degrees. We're going to divide that by 2 cosine of 9 degrees plus I sine of 9 degrees. Since this is a division problem or a quotient problem, all you're going to do with your r's are divide them. 10 divided by 2 is going to give you 5. And then you're going to put cosine plus I sine. And what goes after the cosine and the sine? Since this is a division problem, you're not going to add your angles. You are going to subtract your angles. So 27 take away 9 should give you 18 degrees. Again, the book will not leave it in this form. They're going to put it in a complex form. It's only going to take but a second to do that. All you're going to do is do the 5 cosine of 18 on your calculator, and then you're going to do 5 sine of 18 on your calculator. So let's all do that right now. Let's do 5 cosine of 18 and see what you get. 4.8 plus, and now do 5 sine of 18 on your calculator. And you're going to get 1.5i. That is all for today, so you can start working on your assignment. The assignment will be page 597, 11 through 20 all. It's not too many problems, but I don't think you need too much to understand what we're doing today. If you're still having problems, ask somebody next to you and they probably could explain to you what we're doing.